Heidelberg members a round of applause. And with over 300 performances a year, we wouldn't be able to do it without our volunteers who help with everything from ticket taking at the door to assisting with finding seats, helping out in the cafe. Let's give tonight's volunteers a round of applause. And we do try to preserve the listening room experience here for those of you in our Ford listening room tonight. And we do have folks joining via our live stream this evening. So we ask that you keep talking to a minimum. Make sure those cell phones are on silent. Photography and video are permitted for this evening's show, but you've got to have your flash disabled so you're not distracting the folks on stage or those seated around you. There will not be an intermission for tonight's show, so if you need to leave the listening room to visit the cafe or the restrooms, try to do so in between numbers. The cafe will remain open until about 8:45 this evening. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you. Did y'all know that tonight's artists are celebrating their 50th anniversary? They have traveled more than 1 million miles and have performed over 6,000 shows, from pig roasts to pool parties to Lincoln Center out of doors, the Barns at Wolftrap, and the Kennedy Center's Millennium stage. Please join me in giving a big arc welcome to Mustard's Retreat.
Thank you. This is hardly fair that we know so many people out there and would love to spend an hour with everybody. Thank you so much. All the way from when Michael and I were working at the Brown Jug, there are people from the Brown Jug, the Heidelberg, there are people who know us there, and all the way, someone came from Pittsburgh. We just saw last weekend, and they drove up. So thank you all. We're going to have a wonderful time tonight. And
Love Fest.
Yes, and
Boom shakalaka love fest.
Libby's going to have a good time tonight. so we're gonna do a song for all the volunteers here. Most of you know this song already. It's really a shout along. It's
Don't you want to know how the chorus goes? It goes like this. It goes 1, 2, 3, hey! Help them put the chairs away.
If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Let's hear it for the volunteers.
That's important, yeah. Especially on that hay part. And the cool thing is, I think the chairs are pretty much where they're supposed to be. So you get off of. You don't have to do it. Let's try that chorus. Are you ready? And it's 1, 2, 3, hey! Help them put the chairs away. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Let's hear it for the volunteers. Jenny is a baker and she works all night. She smiles like an angel on her mountain bike. She made the cookies and they taste just right. Jenny is a volunteer. Well, they open up the hall in the afternoon. They help performers to stay in tune. They'll be cleaning up the light of the moon. Let's hear it for the volunteers. And it's 1, 2, 3, hey! Help them put the chairs away. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Let's hear it for the volunteers. There goes Spike, he's seen it all. But he's the one who let the curtain fall. I was changing clothes and I mooned you all. Let's hear it for the volunteers. Kathy is the one in the yellow pants. She loves the music, but she can't dance. With her computer now, she writes grants. Let's hear it for the volunteers. And it's 1, 2, 3, hey! Have them put the chairs away. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Let's hear for the volunteers. Come on, Dave. Well, there's Andy, he works the sound. A thunderstorm's coming and he looks around. He's all patched in, but he's lost his ground. Let's hear it for the volunteers. And it ain't for the money, cause they work for free. It's a great dysfunctional family. It's all for the music and the company. Let's hear it for the volunteers. Come on.
And it's 1, 2, 3, hey!
Have them put the chairs away. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Let's hear for the volunteers. One more.
It's 1, 2, 3,
Hey! Help them put the chairs away. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Let's hear for the volunteers. One more time around it. 50 years, can you believe it? Can you believe it? I know. How does that happen? How does that even happen? Time travel or something, yeah. Well,
It was warped for sure.
Nano? Yeah. Anyway, we played last night in Ohio. We played in Columbus, Ohio.
Wow, they didn't say that in Columbus.
Do that again. Do that again.
That's a compliment for all the people from Ohio listening on the live feed. That's
know
the
what-
compliment for you.
They
You know,
like
we
us.
have, it's a wonderful, I mean, next to Ann Arbor, I mean, besides Flint, Ann Arbor, Columbus, and Ithaca, New York are our biggest markets. And Columbus has really embraced us like family down there. So we're not wearing gray and red tonight, but
No. You know, whenever we would go down, we would go out on stage and say, "Hi, we're Mustard's Retreat. We're Peace Envoys from Ann Arbor, Michigan." And they would go, and you know what they would do? They go, "Ooh," just like that. They did. And then sometimes we would say, "Well, you know, we'd like to remind you of the it's about the fact that it's only a game."
You like that, don't you?
I do. I love that. Yes. It's only a game, though. You know, it really is.
Well, Michael and I started out, we met each other at the Brown Jug in 1974.
Yep.
And we were both cooks, and there are a couple of people here who were there. And
The only thing we like to say about the Brown Jug is that when we were there, the food was good.
we got together one afternoon and we discovered we both did music, got together one afternoon, it was a Monday, and we thought, let's go down to the Ark's open mic on Wednesday and see if we can get on stage and do our shows, do our songs. And we did 3 songs. It actually was a big hit. I don't know why. And they invited us back in 2 weeks to do a full 45-minute set.
And you know who it was that invited us back? No, it was Linda. So let's have just a little moment of silence.
Yes,
for
Linda just passed away, and she and David were the heart and soul of this place.
They kept this thing going, and here it is, you know. And yeah, just everybody, give them some good wishes, and because we are grateful. I mean, let's hear it for the volunteers. And you know, and we are grateful for the Ark being here. I mean, this is the coolest place to play in the whole Midwest, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now,
it is.
I know I told them that last night down in Columbus. But no, it's really true. This is the coolest place. And we are so lucky to be here and to have played so many times here.
Yeah.
And we're going to sing a song called The Michigan Mosquitoes. We played it for the people in Ohio last night, and they were puzzled.
Yeah,
can
he'll
see a
say
little
that tomorrow in Flint. He said, yeah, we played it for the people in Ann Arbor last night, and they were puzzled.
No, you guys know all about it. I know that. All right. So this song's got a chorus too, and don't you want to know how it goes? It goes, oh, Paul Bunyan, see what have you done? When you mess with Mother Nature, she comes back to have some fun. And I say, oh, Paul Bunyan, see what have you done? Oh, these Michigan mosquitoes have got us on the run. That's your part. Every time it comes around on the guitar. And remember as you listen to this song that it's a true story. In Michigan, not long ago, mosquitoes could not fly. But they were big and bad enough to look a logger in the eye. And every spring they'd plant their feet on both sides of the stream. And they'd pick the loggers off the rafts that floated down between. Paul Bunyan heard about this and he said it would never do. He said, I'll go get reinforcements, teach those bugs a thing or two. So he went down to Texas and brought back some killer bees to try and start an insect war beneath the northern trees. Here we go now. Oh, Paul Bunyan, see what have you done? When you mess with Mother Nature, she comes back to have some fun. I say, oh, Paul Bunyan, see what have you done? Oh, these Michigan mosquitoes have got us on the run. Well, the Texas bees were nasty. The mosquitoes were tough and mean. There was buzzing and biting and stinging and fighting like no one had ever seen. The battleground grew silent with a hush between the trees when the king of the mosquitoes met the queen of all the bees. Uh-oh. Now he was brown and bad and handsome with his sword and suction pipes. She was beautiful and deadly in her black and yellow stripes as they circled round each other looking for an opening close enough to touch antenna. Little birds began to sing and they sang this, they sang, oh, Paul Bunyan, see what have you done? When you mess with Mother Nature, she comes back to have some fun. I say, oh, Paul Bunyan, see what have you done? Oh, these Michigan mosquitoes have got us on the run. By Jove, I think they got it. Soon it seemed like they were dancing. They decided not to fight. So the war became a powwow and the party went all night. Angry buzzing turned to humming, open war to wedded bliss. And the loggers were to mutter, nothing good's gonna come of this. So our Michigan mosquitoes are the children of that night. Twice as big and twice as ugly, all in brown and yellow stripes. And they fly in tight formations, roaring like a mighty wind. They're exceptionally fuzzy, and they've got stingers on both ends. Come on now. Oh, Paul Bunyan, see what have you done? When you mess with Mother Nature, she comes back to have some fun. I say, oh, Paul Bunyan, mosquitoes have got us on the run.
You know, Mr. Hough wrote that song after we heard a guy named Art Thiem from Chicago tell the story about Paul Bunyan, and Michael decided it's a good story, but it'll be a better song.
It's actually a true story. What do you mean, Art Thiem? Art Thiem's great. Does anybody remember Art Thiem? Outrageous raconteur, folk musician. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready, colleagues? Gather the family. Okay, now this is for all of you, right? I mean, this is from us to you.
Really, I mean, we tell audiences everywhere that this whole folk community is really family for us, and
really.
But for you guys, it's really
It's exceptionally true.
we know so many of you for so long.
Gather the family, here we belong, and welcome, good stranger, come in. Our voices together all singing one song, and it's here that the future begins.
Our ancestors came from away, far away, from 1,000 traditions and kin. What we all share together is we stand here today with a chance to start over again. Gather the family, here we belong, and welcome, good stranger, come in. Our voices together all singing one song, and it's here that the future begins. Our measure of worth's not in power or gold. The greatest truth comes from the heart, and it's how we take care of the weak and the old. This is the place we can start. Gather the family, here we belong, and welcome, good stranger, come in. Our voices together all singing one song, and it's here that the future begins. And so, like a forest, our roots hold the past, while our branches reach into the sky. Let our gift to our children be family that lasts, and a future to which they can fly. Gather the family, here we belong, and welcome, good stranger, come in. Our voices together all singing one song, and it's here that the future begins.
Can we do that in Lithuanian?
Susiburkim į šeimą, čia mūsų vieta,
svetingas prie užeik, lyg duona dalinamas viena daina, ateitis prasideda čia.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, so in 2011, Michael and I got the chance to go tour in Lithuania, and that's where my father's family came from. And yes,
we asked there's Lithuanian Americans around here that could translate the chorus for us, and they did that.
yes, Vitas was here. Vitas and his wife, did that for us, and we sang it over in Lithuania. But when we were flying over there, the flight stopped in Helsinki. Early in the morning, we changed planes, and everybody knows about there's Norway and Finland and Sweden all up here, Baltic Sea's down here, and down at the bottom of Finland, the capital is Helsinki, and we got there in the morning and listening to the radio, and this DJ got on, and he said, "Hey, this is Sven, and you're listening to Radio Helsinki from the Baltic to the Arctic. How you doing?" Just an obnoxious. AM morning guy. And he said, you know, we hear that it's really cold up north. We hear it's 50 degrees below. And I'm going to find out if that's true. And so this is pre-cell phones, or before we had them. And so he picked a name at random out of the phone book and called somebody up, up in northern Finland, above the Arctic Circle. And he said he got an old woman, and he said, "Hey, it's Sven from Radio Helsinki." And she said, "Hi, Sven." So and he said, "Yeah, we hear that it's really cold up there, and we want to know how cold is it." And so she said, "All right, let me go look at the thermometer." So off she went. She came back and she said, "Sven, it's 15 degrees below zero." And he was like, "Well, that can't be true. We heard that it's 50 degrees below zero." And she just laughed and she said, "Oh, you mean outside?" Oh, Dave Ayton, who's a radio guy in Atlanta, sent me that joke. It's not really true, but it could be. So our first tour out of Ann Arbor, we were in Wisconsin, Kenosha, which is outside of Milwaukee, where we're going. Libby and I go next week, and La Crosse over on the Mississippi and Rhinelander, up by the UP border. And it was there were like 4 generations there, and we were the entertainment between the potluck and the dance, and we felt like big successes, and we still do. So this is a song I wrote after that. It's called "There's a Dance Tonight." There's a dance tonight underneath the harvest moon. So honey, won't you come and dance with me? Your folks will watch the kids. We can't dance the way we did back when you were shy and I was 23. You were a lovely sight to see, dancing every dance with me. And that cotton dress you wear matched the flowers in your hair. And there's a magic in the night with the moon shining so bright. Oh honey, won't you come along with me? Up the floor and back again, a long-time lovers, best of friends, through the changes and the years we have remained. And what was spark is now aglow, waiting only breath to blow, with light kindling once again into a flame. Summer leans into the fall, full of stories to recall, apple wine and autumn wind, in the company of friends. And let the music finally sweet, lift the years from off our feet, and remember times we'll never see again. And there's a dance tonight underneath the harvest moon. Oh honey, won't you come along with me? Your folks will watch the kids. We can't dance the way we did back when you were shy and I was 23. You were a lovely sight to see, dancing every dance with me. And that cotton dress you wear matched the flowers in your hair. And there's a magic in the night with the moon shining so bright. Oh honey, won't you come along with me?
Thank you, everybody.
So last Saturday night, we were in Pittsburgh playing, and we have to do a shout out to our friends from Pittsburgh who drove up for tonight after seeing us last
Still
week.
in shock.
Thank you. And so a friend of ours named Pat Wiley wrote this. Pat's from up in Wisconsin. It's called the Barred Owl Waltz. And I know a lot of you know it here. I usually ask people, what does a barred owl sound like?
To be or not to be?
And that's one barred owl.
Not that barred.
Who cooks for you? That's what they sound like. Who cooks for you? And
That's your part.
yeah, but the we were so excited because last Saturday a barred owl had taken up residence right outside of the house that we were playing. So when I asked that question, I knew it, but everybody knew what they said. Who cooks for you? It's so that's your part.
Don't you love the strings on those? Look at those two. Look at Libby's bass. Look at that guitar. Look at the strings. Show them to everybody.
These beautiful strings. Yeah, Aurora
So
Strings,
Libby.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. I better hurry up or Mike will start.
Do I have to start
be
telling
banjo
bass player
jokes.
jokes again?
Feel banjo jokes.
Yeah. Like, how do you get a bass player off your front porch? Pay for the pizza, He's probably a bass player right there, yeah. What's the difference between a possum and a bass player if they're both dead on the side of the road? Who cares? There's one. Good one. Some people would say skid marks in front of the possum. But no, the possum was probably on the way to a gig. Oh, right. Are you guys ready yet? Better save me here.
Out on the front porch, under the stars, far from the city lights, noise in the cars, with the crickets and the tree frogs and the whippoorwill call. We dance to the barred owl waltz. Here we go. Who cooks for you?
That's what the barred owls say.
Who cooks for you? It's a piney wood serenade. Who cooks for you? We echo their call as we dance to the barred owl waltz. My mom is watching tonight from Connecticut.
Hi, Mom.
She's 95.
Everybody
And I
say
gotta
hi,
say,
Mom, on three.
right there.
2, 3. Hi,
I have to say, when I told them that I was not only quitting school to become a folk musician, but also quitting my lucrative job at the Brown Jug restaurant, my parents were very supportive. They never thought I'd be doing something like this, but we seldom see them, but we know when they're there, for the voices drift sweetly on the cool forest air, through an ocean of trees, to our front porch dance hall, where we sway to the barred owl waltz. Who cooks for you? That's what the barred owls say. Who cooks for you? It's a piney wood serenade. Who cooks for you? We echo their call as we dance to the barred owl waltz. They ask the same question of us every night. Can it be they've grown tired of eating raw mice? Maybe we should invite them to our next barbecue. They can dance to the barred owl too. Who cooks for you? That's what the barred owls say. Who cooks for you? It's a piney wood serenade. Who cooks for you? We echo their call as we dance to the barred owl waltz. Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all? That's the southern barred owl. So,
It's very hard to curate a set list for these shows for our 50th year because there was so much to to go through. And some things we aren't doing that we wish we were doing, and some things we couldn't let the night go by without doing. And this is one of them. This is one of Michael's. This is one of the first songs Mustard Retreat started singing.
When I was living over on Church Street, for those of you who know where the Brown Jug is, it was less than a block from the Brown Jug, so I could roll out of bed at 5 minutes to 6 and be there on time for work. It's at 6. And so when Michael and I, found out that we had music in common, went over to my place, and he brought his guitar, and this is the first song that he sang for me, and I was like, wow, who is this guy, and what does this song mean? And I don't care, so it's
So Dave is still tuning. I'll teach you the chorus. It goes, all my troubles gone for nothing. All my travels gone behind. All my weeping gone to make the brand new day. All my planning, never mind. And if you can't remember which one it is, just all my You can sing them. We love to hear you. It doesn't matter if you get it right or anything like that. Although we better, by golly, get it right. Are you ready?
yes, sir.
1, 2, 3. On a moody Monday morning, found myself beside the river, cast a coin into the water, wondering what fate might deliver. Out beyond the harbor markers, thought I heard a woman singing, could not see the lighthouse flashing, could not hear the fog bell ringing. All my troubles gone for nothing. All my troubles gone behind. All my weeping gone to make the brand new day. All my planning, never mind. Stepped into the oily water. Thick fog showed no signs of lifting, letting the dark currents take me. With the ebbing tide was drifting. Fog closed gently in around me. All alone out in the water. Deep below me I was certain, sang the harbor master's daughter. All my troubles gone for nothing. All my troubles gone behind. All my weeping gone to make the brand new day. All my planning, never mind. once I heard her faintly singing, deep below me in the water. Put my head beneath to see her, touch the harbor master's daughter, while the harbor master's sleeping. Daughter saves the unbeliever, and on a moody Monday morning, found myself beside the river. All my troubles gone for nothing. All my travels gone behind. All my weeping gone to make a brand new day. All my planning, never mind.
This is so much fun. Thank you all for joining us tonight. This is a lot of fun.
All right. From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Yeah.
In 5 seconds.
Whoosh!
No,
Michael,
Mikey, go vroom,
yeah,
vroom.
Michael, this is a song Michael had back then that was more, actually, it's a song about his dog. He had an Airedale Terrier called Captain. And there were no leash laws in Ann Arbor until Captain.
I'm sure that he had something to do with because he had a title. He had a title among the city
Yeah, no,
officers.
they would come to the back of the brown jug at the back door. There'd be a policeman writing out a ticket,
Right.
and they would say, "Mr. Hough," and he'd go over. "We've got a ticket here for."
Right. And it was for me, but it's like whenever there was a guy in a uniform at the back door, half of the staff would go running out the front. Well, anyway, it was about my dog. It was the fact that it was supposedly, his title, which they would write on the citation, which they would give to me, was Dog at Large. Captain the Airedale, Dog at Large. Yeah. So anyway, this is the song that we wrote for him. It's got a chorus on it. Please sing along. And there's a great part for you to howl like, oh, oh. If you can hoot like an owl, you can howl like a dog. I'm sure.
Just saying.
We're just here to have fun, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Oh! All right. Well, now listen here, people. I'll sing you a song. I'll tell you a story about my old dog. He bumbles and he fumbles and he can't catch a squirrel, but he lays on the porch like he's king of the world. And when I take my bicycle out for a ride, he runs right along in the street by my side. He ain't scared of dying 'cause he's hairy and free, and he wears a bandana around his neck just like me. Yippee-yi-ho, Captain, I know you're my friend and my brother, and your tale tells me so. Are you ready? Oh! Now you play in the traffic, you'll be on the wall, but Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all. Now he can't go a-roaming by day in this town. The cops know his name and they chase him on down. He's 9 times been busted. This is what they said. If they catch him again, they're gonna bust me instead. So he stays in my room while I'm working all day. Around about sundown, he goes out to play. He's big and he's burly, and he can't hurt a flea. And that's why I occasionally find one on me. And yippee-yi-oh, Captain, I know you're my friend and my brother, and your tale tells me so. Here we go. Now you play in the traffic, you pee on the wall, but Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all. When I leave him, the notion gets into his head to roll back my blanket and sleep on my bed. I got sand in my pillows, I got burrs in my ass. It's a bum's rush of a welcome to the great lower class. And one day my lady comes mad to my door. She says she's got bugs, and she gives me what for. I say, now I know why you jump like a frog. Yeah, you ain't got the crabs, it's just fleas from my dog. And yippee-yi-oh, Captain, I know you're my friend and my brother, and your tale tells me so. One more time. Now you play in the traffic, you pee on the wall, but Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all. I say, Captain, my brother, you're my best friend of all.
Well, it didn't take long after David was hired at the Rathskellar for me to get up there and start singing harmony with him. And it didn't take long at all.
Well, my first audition, the ignorance of youth. It's like, went to the Heidelberg New Year's Eve, 1974. Michael had just gotten a job playing bass with his brother-in-law. So I was kind of at loose ends, and people I was with said, "Oh, you guys, you should audition. You're better than the guy up there," which I was not. But early January, I went in and auditioned, and Libby was the bartender down there.
Yeah.
The bartender told Libby to, check this guy out and see if he's any good.
Fritz, the owner, Fritz Kokendorfer. Shout out, Fritz. I have a dream every night. I have waitress dreams from the Heidelberg. My whole life, my whole career, I have waitress. I can't find the Coke gun. That's another time for another time. Fritz said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, look how cute he is." And he could sing real good, but I didn't realize how raw he was. He was pretty raw. So, but he honed his skills. And then as time went on, Michael joined. The three of us were singing, and everything was honed on stage back then. Really, it was very interesting. Doesn't really happen for bands that way.
We did practice though, because that's this next song we're going to do is one of the ones that we practiced right away. When we first put in the trio together, David had just learned this really nice picking part, which just amazed me. I mean, I listen to David play to this day, and it's like, wow.
It's a beautiful song.
So, that's the way it is with us.
So this is by Richard Pinney from Milwaukee. We're actually going to be out in Milwaukee next Saturday night.
Kind of a signature piece for us.
Yeah, it is. Well.
Oh, no.
They really don't want me to start.
Yeah, Michael, is good, but Libby is like a loose cannon. You know what? I just have to tune this again because.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference? What's the difference between a bagpipe and an onion? Anybody? Bingo! Nobody. What he said was nobody cries when they slice up a bagpipe.
All right, so why are there no banjos on Star Trek? Because it's the future.
Because it's the future, yeah. But the younger generation doesn't like these jokes. You better tune your guitar back.
I've got beggars on the trail, leaning a ragged railing to hold me while I'm ailing again. If I'm thinking cold, finding that mother load, I'll be back on again. You may know me when I've been blessed, and I give you a song when I'm gone with the rest. Save a place in the corner, leave the key by the door, and I will leave in jubilation, be returning for some more. But your face is froze across, long ago been frosted over, and it looks unreal. When I doubt your mind, I'm pulled along by kind of a spirit, and it makes me feel. You may know me when I've been blessed, and I give you a song when I'm gone with the rest. Save a place in the corner, leave the key by the door, and I will leave in jubilation, be returning for some more. Beggars on the trail, leaning a ragged railing to hold me while I'm ailing again. If I'm thinking cold, finding that mother load, I'll be back on again. You may know me when I've been blessed, and I give you a song, and I'm gone with the rest. Save the place in the corner, leave the key by the door, and I will leave in jubilation, be returning for some more.
Years. 50 years of singing that song.
Well, it's hard times in this winter city, though the falling snow kinda makes it look pretty. Colored lights, Christmas coming on, well, they shine like stars and then they're gone. Sidewalks echo full of restless feet that are keeping time with that city beat. Now old Joe's got a steel guitar, used to make his living playing in the bars. Now he spends his time at the park, playing for nickels from dawn to dark. Night finds him sleeping out on the street. Well, it's just a part of that city beat. Too little hope somebody's singing next block down. I can't hear the words, but there's joy in that sound. Past the dark edge of sorrow, it smiles like a friend, and it lifts my feet as I get moving again. The melody lingers, it's both bitter and sweet, singing out the rhythm of that city beat. Too little hope, too little sky, but dreams are the wings on which we fly. And the alleys they whisper, the neighborhoods talk, and somewhere in the middle down the pavement walk. Well, the morning's hazy, full of fog and steam. It swirls and disappears like some elusive dream. And the city fills in a long, deep breath, and it takes you in, and you do your best. The story's always changing as it plays and repeats, and it keeps in time with that city beat. Yeah, Michael and I wrote that, I don't know, many years ago. A lot of the songs tonight, Michael and I wrote together. Yeah, it was, I don't know, we played together for 40 years before you retired?
45, or 44, let's say, yeah, because if I wrote an autobiography, it would be called 44 Years on the Road. With a picture of a turtle.
That would be
Turtle on the center stripe, yeah.
so.
All right, so next week, Libby and I are going out to Chicago and Milwaukee, then up to Sault Ste. Marie and Marquette, across to Minneapolis and something in Wisconsin. And, you know, a lot of you know this, as we travel around the country, we like to tell people about Michigan, all about, it's like,
We're ambassadors.
Here we are. And every once in a while, you know, well, hi, we're from Michigan. And people will go, yeah. Everybody just, because they understand. But there is a, you know, we feel like the UP is kind of like the spiritual heart of Michigan, you know? And it's just like, you know, but there's a language barrier, you know? Not only is there is a decade just like the 70s up there still, and
Yeah,
but
you
it's
got that
great.
right.
I mean, it's really something special.
you betcha.
Yeah. And
So it's kind of like a public service announcement for people in another area, because, you know, they want to come to Michigan because it's exotic.
that's what they tell us. You're from Michigan, you're exotic. We'll hire you. Yeah, so this is written by Peter and Lou Berryman. And it's a sing-along. Yes, we do this, you know, after Barred Owl Waltz, you know, it's kind of like, who cooks for you? We figure we've given you an earworm there. And so now we do this one to drive that one out and replace it. Hope you don't mind when an old man sings. Helps me to keep my mind on things. No, you're in Michigan. And when I go where the animals thrive, I sing this song on the treacherous drive. Dem deer dare here, dem dare 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 here, dare 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 everywhere. And that's your part. Dem deer dare here, dem dare 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 here, dare 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 everywhere. At dawn in fields and carnivorous groves, bucks and does come alive in droves. Just when they think that the coast is clear, there in the road is the white-tailed deer. Dem deer, they're here. Dem deer, they're here. They're everywhere. Dem deer, they're here. Dem deer, they're here. They're everywhere. In venison land as the day goes by, deer lay low while the sun is high. Sun goes down, night draws near, twilight brings out the white-tailed deer. Dem deer, they're here. Dem deer, they're here. They're everywhere. Dem deer, they're here. Dem deer, they're here. They're everywhere. Bucks bed down where the tall grass grows. Fawns stay does where the does does there, does here, and those are the habits of the white-tailed deer. Dem deer, they're here. Dem deer, they're here. They're everywhere. Dem deer, they're here.
Big finish.
Dem deer,
They're here.
they're everywhere.
Perfect. Mindy Walkett Marie.
So, yes, we're down
Make
in
sure I'm in the right one.
in Columbus. First time we were ever in Columbus. No, the second time. No, this was it was faithful for us. We had been down there. We opened for Garnet Rogers at a wonderful series down there called 6-String Concerts, and then they tried a folk festival. It was their first time. We were the second act on the folk festival that morning, and there were about 20 volunteers out around the festival grounds. We could see them all, and there were 5 people in the audience. This was their last festival, but it was great because they have continued a wonderful concert series, and but there was a woman out front, a girl, and I don't know, was she in her early 20s, mid 20s, and she's sitting there with her parents. They'd been to see us with Garnet Rogers. They were singing all of our songs, and it was like, wow. How does that happen? So, they bought us CDs and we're singing along, and they became good friends over the years, and we saw both of them last night, her mom and Mindy, and so I asked Mindy, what she did, and I think she almost had her master's in math, and I was like, oh, well, that's great. My mom's a math teacher, and what are you doing for the summer? And she said, well, I'm working as a flag person on a local road crew. So the antenna went up as we were driving home. I was telling Michael this story, and I said, Michael, this is a song. So he made a couple of suggestions in the Michael way, and they were good. And but the thing that impressed me with her was that she'd had a hard time in her younger years, and she found her way back to herself and her family through folk music, and it was just great. And I was so impressed because she knew where she was, why she was where she was, why she was where she was, and she was like totally fine with it. She knew like this is now and this is where I am, and it's great. And I don't think I've ever found that place. But I keep trying. Oh yeah, we should tell you. We've got CDs out there. Some of our CDs, they're $10 a piece, 3 for $25, and there are a couple bowls of marbles. So I go down to West Virginia a couple times a year, and I'm on a team that helps make these marbles.
He's a rock star in the marble world.
Well, yeah, I can.
Don't get me started.
No, you don't want that. So, yeah, but the marbles are free. So if you like a marble or two, just take them.
Here we go again. Wait. Show me this key that we're in.
C, D, E, F. Yeah, I really goofed her up last night.
I didn't do it.
Okay, now we are in it. We got it. I missed all that. It's just as well.
this way. So,
So there was this Irish guy, and he was in jail in England for rebel activities, and he got a letter from his father in Ireland. And his father said, "Son, I don't know what I'm going to do without you. It's just, the ground is so hard. I want to plant my potatoes, but I can't even dig into the ground. It's so hard. I just wish that you were here to help me." And so the young man wrote back to his father. He wrote back, "Don't dig in the garden, da. That's where we buried the guns." And about 2 weeks later, he got another letter. He's still in jail. He got a letter from his father. And his father said, "Oh, son, you wouldn't believe it. Just 5 days ago, 2 big truckloads of British soldiers arrived, and they were pulling a trailer, and they had a front end loader, and all these big guys got out, and they dug down the garden 2 meters deep, and they sifted everything. They sifted all the stones, and they piled all the stones over by that east wall that I've been meaning to rebuild, and they dug the garden out, and they pushed it all back in, and it's like so fluffy now." I thought, no problem at all. I love this. And he said they seemed pretty unhappy when they were leaving. And the young man wrote back to his father, and he said, "Go ahead, plant your potatoes now, da. That's the best I can do for you."
yeah, it's an early morning, getting up at 5. The world's so still and quiet, helps me feel alive. No one I've got to talk to, no questions why. Just headlights across the empty fields on a twilight sky. I work a county road crew on a paving team. Out in the summer weather, I can think and dream. The wind and sun tattoos my skin a tawny brown. And the rain, well, it's the rain, and it just pours on down. These county roads are dangerous, people fly on by. They hardly even see you, most don't even try. All rushing for tomorrows that may never be. But for now I'm happy being here, just being me. Well, it's not a place I ever thought my life would lead. To my surprise, it gives me something that I need. And I've finally realized that things work out somehow. 'Cause I've been through some tough times, but it's all right now. Old friends don't seem to understand or want to know. Is this what you went to college for? I just let it go. Life's made of songs and mysteries and little poems, as we all search for that someplace we could call our own. These county roads are dangerous, people fly on by. They hardly even see you, most don't even try. All rushing for tomorrows that may never be. But for now I'm happy being here, just being me. These county roads are dangerous, people fly on by. They hardly even see you, most don't even try. All rushing for tomorrow that may never be. But for now I'm happy being here, just being me. Here, you know,
We
we
have
own
20
the,
minutes.
the feed
stream.
only goes for 90 minutes. So we're sorry for everybody out there. You've got 20 minutes left. Everybody here who decided to come to the concert is going to get more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I'm happy about that. I just want to play.
What do you got?
you know, let's do Brer Rabbit.
Okay.
All right.
Can I just sit here
You can just see.
and enjoy it? Oh, good.
Now,
Yeah, do the hands.
now, Brer Rabbit had a good friend whose name was Sandy Raccoon. And Sandy got to be called Sandy by spending all of his time down by the creek. Down along those sandy creek banks is where he could catch himself a bunch of frogs, and frogs is what raccoons like to eat best. Well, as Sandy got older, he started to get slower and stiffer, and he couldn't jump for those frogs the way that he used to, so those frogs, they just get away. Well, after a long time of him not bringing home any more frogs to eat, Mrs. Sandy Raccoon lost her temper. She gave him the bawling out of his mortal life, up one side and down the other, and she sent him packing, saying, either you bring me home some more frogs to eat, or you don't bother coming back here at all. Well, poor old Sandy. He was going down the road, feeling about as sad as an old worn-out pair of shoes, when who should come along but his good friend, Brer Rabbit. And Brer Rabbit says, well, what are you looking so down in the mouth about? And Sandy tells him the whole story. And Brer Rabbit says, well, that don't sound like nothing much. In fact, I've got a plan that'll catch you and your wife more frogs than you could possibly eat.
Well, Sandy wanted to hear a plan like that. Brer Rabbit said, here's what you do. You walk on down by the creek bank, down along the sandy banks where you'd normally hang out. And after a while, you start talking out loud about how hot it is outside today and how bad your head hurts and how upset your stomach is and how, and then you start to sway back and forth and back and forth like you're real dizzy and then fall down flat in the sand. Don't you move a muscle. Don't you let your leg flick. Don't you let your tail twitch. Don't you blink an eye until I tell you to move. Now, Sandy couldn't figure out how doing that was going to help him catch any frogs, but he figured his best bet was to do exactly as Brer Rabbit said. You walk down by the creek bank, down along the sandy banks. And after a while, he started talking out loud about how hot it was outside today and how bad his head hurt and how upset his stomach was, how he didn't feel any better than a dime's worth of dog meat. Then he started to sway back and forth and back and forth like he was real dizzy. Oh, he fell down flat in the sand. He didn't move a muscle. He didn't let his leg flick. He didn't let his tail twitch. He didn't blink an eye.
He lay there for a long time. It got to be 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30. He was really thirsty and that water wasn't far away. Still he didn't move. 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Mosquito came and landed on his nose. Flew off, brought back some friends. 4:30, 5 o'clock, 6:37. He was feeling like a real fool when all of a sudden he hears and feels a little snaky lick on his toe. It's Grandmother Water Moccasin coming up out of the swamp to see what's going on. Sandy hated snakes. He could hear her crunching in the sand coming right up by his ear. He was just about to let out a scream when pew, she was gone. And not 5 seconds later, he hears someone come singing and down the road in the distance, and he recognizes Brer Rabbit's voice. And Brer Rabbit gets closer and closer and closer, and all of a sudden, Brer Rabbit starts into screaming and saying, poor old Sandy's dead. Poor old Sandy's going to die today for sure. And all the little frog heads started popping up along the creek saying, is he dead?
Is he dead?
Is he dead?
Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he?
Of course he's dead, said Brer Rabbit. You don't see him moving. On a hot day like today, where are we going to find someone big enough to dig a hole deep enough to bury Brother Sandy in? Well, those frogs, they felt like celebrating. They said, let us dig it.
Let us dig
Let
it,
us dig
dig it, dig it. Let us dig it, dig it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, said Brer Rabbit. Do you think you can dig a hole that's deep enough? And they said, we could try.
We can try.
We can try.
We can try.
So those frogs, they gathered all around Sandy, and the sand and the gravel started flying in every direction. And all the while that they were digging,
The hole
Brother
was
Sandy did. That's right. You know, all the while they were digging, Brother Sandy didn't move a muscle, and that hole with Sandy and all the frogs in it started to sink lower
and lower.
and lower.
Pretty soon, the frogs looked up out of the hole. Now, Brer Rabbit, he's standing on top of the dirt pile. He's kind of supervising the excavation, right? He's Frogs looked up out of the hole, and then they said, "Is it deep enough?
Is it deep?
Is it?
Is it?
Is it deep enough?"
Is
Brer, is it? Brer Rabbit looked down in the hole, and he said, said, we wouldn't want anybody to come along in the night and dig old Brother Sandy up, now would we? He said, you better dig that out a little deeper. So the frogs went back to digging. The sand and the gravels are flying in every direction, and all the time that they were digging, Brother Sandy didn't move a muscle. He didn't let his leg flick. He didn't let his tail twitch. He didn't blink an eye. And that hole with Brother Sandy and all those frogs in it just kept sinking lower
And lower.
and lower.
So pretty soon those frogs were getting pretty tired. They looked down up at Brer Rabbit again, and they said, is it deep enough?
Is it deep enough? Is it deep enough? Is it deep enough?
It's spring. So Brer Rabbit said, well, I don't know. He said he came down off that pile of dirt and he dangled a paw over the edge of the hole and he said, I think you've almost got it. Can you jump this high? And the frogs looked up and they said, I think we can.
I think we can.
I think we can.
I think we can.
Well, said Brer Rabbit, you have just about got it. Why don't you go back to digging just a few more inches and you'll be done.
So the frogs went back to digging. And the sand and the gravels are flying in every direction. And all the time that they were digging, Brother Sandy didn't move a muscle. He didn't let his leg flick. He didn't let his tail twitch. He didn't blink an eye. And finally they looked up. They worked until they were just exhausted. And then they looked up at Brer Rabbit again and they said, is it deep enough?
Is it deep enough?
Is it deep enough? Is it? Is it? Brer Rabbit looked down in the hole and he said, well, he said, I don't know. We said, you think you can jump out? Well, the frogs looked up at the hole. It's pretty deep by now. And a few of them tried. And they went, and they went, and then they went,
Oh, you're hilarious.
And then they said,
I don't think we can.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can. And Brer Rabbit said, well, in that case, it's deep enough. Brother Sandy, now rise up and catch your frogs. And ladies and gentlemen, with all the frogs just trapped in the bottom of the hole, that's exactly what Brother Sandy went and did.
Tell Marie. Okay.
This music's my haven. I've made it my way, doing late nights and long miles on very short pay. So I'll tell you a tale that means something to me of a long ago night when I danced with Marie. I've always been uncool. I never had a fast car. My own father, in pity, brought home a guitar. I was hopeless at sports. I was too shy around girls. He was thinking it might be a key to the world. Well, I learned the guitar and attempted to sing, till my friend said, just play bass. There's only 4 strings. So I reached for the low notes, and I'm proud to tell that the bass was a thing I found I could do well. And soon I was gigging, though I couldn't play fast. I was driving the van with the North Country Grass. Just a band on the highway, so wild and carefree, just a gig at a barn dance. But I met Marie. 4 women were talking as we took a break. They sized up my buddies. I saw their heads shake. 2 still looked doubtful, but one beckoned to me and she said, "We would like you to dance with Marie." And she said, "Marie's special. You might think she's slow, but she's closer to God than the rest of us know. When you dance with her, just let her show you the way. And if you don't treat her right, there'll be hell to pay." By then, one of the others had turned to her friend, and I heard she was sweeping the graveyard again. And I wondered at that as they led me along and decided their trust in me would not be wrong. And then they introduced us. And I was so charmed. I could see why they wanted to keep her from harm. She was tall with a cheerful and endearing face and a mischievous spark and an innocent grace. While the other band set up and got ready to play, I listened to things that Marie had to say. She said, "My mom's in the graveyard, but I don't know where. So I go there and keep it like somebody cares." She said, "The moonlight was pretty tonight, oh, at last, but it shone on the edges of some broken glass." She said, "Guys won't dance with me here. They say I'm out of my head. They drink beer and bring bottles on gravestones instead." I said, "You'll think I'm stupid, but I don't know how to do all these dances. Can you show me now?" And she came into focus, just to think that she knew and could do and could help me with something that I couldn't do. I can trip on my own feet. She saw that right off. And she thought it was odd that my hands were not rough. What she taught me and what I remembered and guessed made me see that this dancing was what she did best. She was light, quick, and graceful. I was clumsy and slow. There was no country dance that Marie did not know. And I stayed with her until the last dance's end. At the start, we were strangers, but we turned into friends. And that's all that there was. When the music was done, someone said, "Me and Janie will take Marie home." And I grinned and bowed low. And she waved back at me. There's no one I've met who could dance like Marie. Now, I've been back to see her a number of times. She has good days and bad days, but her spirit shines like the moonlight on the edges of a broken glass. The village has made it official. It passed. They gave her the caretaker's house and stipend. When I went back to see her last summer again, her hair's gone all silver. She's lovely like that, and she lives by the graveyard with 3 or 4 cats.
Well, I wrote this song back after the presidential selection of 2004, as Michael says, the presidential selection. And I wasn't feeling too happy about it. It seemed like politics had gotten so ugly. I thought, how's it going to get any worse? Well, I choose to remain an optimist. It's hard these days, but, you know, counting on all of you as friends and family.
Defiantly hopeful we are.
Defiantly hopeful, that's right. So this is the song, and the chorus goes, "Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day." Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make it say what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. No room in this heart for fear. No judgment day drawing near. Trust that inner voice you hear every day. Life's not a goal or race. It's about heart and faith and living a life of grace every day. Always a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make you say what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. Trust is an open hand, making an honest stand, rooted here in the land every day. Live in the mystery, seeking the harmony here between you and me every day. Always a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day.
You guys fill me up. It's just a love fest. It's just a love fest.
Hey, Michael, what key is this in?
B minor. This is not one of the ones we practiced as much as.
This all right.
Well,
This is it.
back in the 70s, Michael and I had a whole set of songs called Apocalyptic Visions. It was a grim. That was for late nights.
They're really fun at parties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
At parties, they wanted us to hear lay around the shanty mama and put a good buzz on. That's what they wanted, and we did it for them. But this one was just when I wrote this one, I was really angry about something, but I don't remember what it was. There's so much more to be angry about now. I just.
And we put the beginning of the song is by the late great David Mallet, the guy that wrote the Garden song Inch by Inch. He just passed away recently, and I took this from a song of his called Arthur, and we asked him. He said, "Sure, you can use it." So. Oh, my turn for jokes. No, we
We want to nail it. You know, we're so happy that you all came here. We really want to nail it for you.
Yeah, and we've got probably about 100 songs we'd like to do tonight. So, okay. Darkness falls, their fires they light. Pity those who live in fright. Mercy upon those who fight for some place in the sunset. Sounds of war, pistols roar. Violence walks among the poor. Danger lurks at every door, and people's eyes are blinded. And Stop and Shop, a hotel flop. Killers, fools, and crazy cops. It all goes on and never stops. No love, no rest, no reason. Concrete walls, dingy halls, drunk men sleeping where they fall. Living hard and dying small and drowned in disillusion. Dragon queen, street machine, fading fast and feeling mean. An old man sits and eats his beans. He knows his love lies resting. And poets' spears, pale but true, they'll send their love to you. And they all know what they must do to purify their senses. And darkness falls, their fires they light. Pity those who live in fright. Mercy upon those who fight for some place in the sunset.
I can see the future coming. It's 100 years away. It's still running from the war that we're preparing for today. It's a desperate group of people who are hungry on the road, with a mule to pull the wagon and the kids up on the load. You might think I'm talking crazy, but I am what I must be, and I want you all to know that I can see. For the leader is a dreamer. He's a lot like you and me, and his eyes are looking down the road as far as he can see. When you travel at a mule's pace, the world is very vast, and in every lonesome valley is a lesson from the past. You might think the world is crazy, you might think we've lost control, but the road unfolds before us. Pay the toll. So if you see the future coming and you think you'll ride the wave, you might put your mind to what you'd like to bring along and say, I'm not much for new religions or for politics and such. Riding shotgun on the wagon, I'm not asking very much. You might think I'm talking crazy, but I am what I must be, and I want you all to know that I can see. And every human in the story that is written in the earth holds a fistful of the destiny we chose before our birth. If you measure your reflection by the length of shadows cast, then the future builds a fortress in the ruins of the past. You might think the world is crazy, you might think we've lost control, but the road unfolds before us. Pay the toll. I can see the future coming. It's 100 years away. It's still running from the war we're still preparing for today. It's a desperate group of people who are hungry on the road, with a mule to pull the wagon and the kids up on the load. You might think I'm talking crazy, but I am what I must be, and I want you all to know that I can see. You might think the world is crazy, you might think we've lost control, but the road unfolds before us. Pay the toll, pay the toll, pay the toll.
Yeah. Oh, you sound like you're ready for more apocalyptic visions. Yeah. So, well, you know, again, for all of us, it's hard to believe that we actually are at the place that we're at, and we never could have dreamed it. I mean, if Nixon was the worst thing that we ever, it was like, oh well.
One thing that is steady underneath and beside everything that's happening around us and to us is music. Music is our thread. It's our common thread that we share that makes us feel good. And this is what people are thirsty for right now. And this is what makes us feel good. To sing for you and to you to sing with us. And this is the perfect song tonight for that. So Peter Yarrow. No, I don't know who wrote this.
Pete Seeger and Lee Hayes wrote this.
That's right.
But we used to sing it every night when we performed with, with Peter Yarrow, who also just passed away. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning.
Sounds beautiful.
I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters. Over this land.
You got it.
And if I had a bell, I'd ring it over.
I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land.
I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out a warning, I'd ring out the love
Between my brothers and my sisters,
over this land. And if I had a song, I'd sing it, Lord. I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out a warning, I'd sing out the love between my brothers and my sisters. Over this land. Now I've got a hammer,
I got a hammer,
and I've got a bell,
I got a bell
I've got a song
to sing all over this land.
It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom.
It's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters.
Over this land, it's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom. It's a song about the love
Between my brothers
and my sisters. Over this land, all over this land, all over this land.
Wow. Nice work.
Thank you. Thank you.
What you do to me?
So, really, we could go on for a couple more hours, and like, but so we have to get up early tomorrow because we have to get to Flint by noon. We have a 3:00 show, and so
My hometown.
we know you're all going to be there. So, but we do have another show. It's like the 17th of May at Mama's Coffee House in West Bloomfield. That we're doing as a trio again. It's the last one we have scheduled, and so maybe you can make it down there.
There you go.
So I, over there in Birmingham, I wrote this in Birmingham as I was sitting in a park, the music for this, and I love the music, and as Michael often says, say, oh, give me that. So I did.
He gave it to me on a tape,
yeah,
a cassette,
And he wrote these beautiful words. I mean, I can't even play the song anymore. Somebody wanted to hear it tonight, but Michael can still do it.
Well, the song is called Moonlight Through Clouds, and it's like David wrote this beautiful guitar piece, which he can't remember, but that's all right. This is what happens when you become older than dirt like me. So I do remember it, and when I heard that somebody wanted to hear it and was coming all the way here to listen, I thought, well, I'll just run over it and make sure I do remember it. So what happened was David wrote this guitar piece, and he gave it to me on a tape, and I drove around in my car and played it over and over and over and over. I just kept playing it over and over, and pretty soon lines began to suggest themselves. Remember? We've forgotten so many songs.
What key are you?
I'm in the key of D. Round a river, pebbles in a ring around the tree. Magic of root, leaf, and sky. Small rain falls, 2 rings in the river. Now you may live, you may fly. Tall flames leaping on a hill beside the road. No one can say what's begun. Moonlight through clouds, over road, over water. Down under leaves, magic flies. Wind fans flames, breezes rustle in the leaves, and the rain turns to vapor in the fire. All of your plans become stones in the sand. The rings ripple around the reflection of the sky. Rain clouds cover up the moon above the trees. Sparks and red embers arise. Moonlight through clouds, over road, over water. Down under leaves, magic flies. Wind fans flames, breezes rustle in the leaves, and the rain turns to vapor in the fire. All of your plans become stones in the sand. The rings ripple around the reflection of the sky. Round river pebbles in a ring around the tree. Magic of root, leaf, and sky. Moonlight through clouds, over road, over water, bridging between you and I. He did remember it. this is, to tell you the truth, this is one of the remarkable things. I mean, when David and I started working together in the kitchen, we were a good team. And when we started playing music together, something happened. You know, I don't know what, but something happened. You know, we found that our guitar styles would mesh a bit. We could sing sort of harmony, and once Libby joined up, we learned a lot. I learned a lot from Libby about how to sing. So, you know, it's remarkable that we've been able to stay together all this time.
Yeah, Libby had a lot of experience. I mean, it was kind of like kitten with a whip. You know, she would after Michael, after me, it's like, and we got better quick. Jeremy Brown. All right, so.
I've had a lot of fun with these two guys over the years. This is a fact.
We got really good. David and I got really good at covering up each other's mistakes.
So yeah, you know, I wrote this song many years ago when I was living in a house in Redford. After dinner, I would go into the bedroom and just work on a song, and I don't know where it came from. It's one of those songs, but you know, childhood is difficult, and a lot of the reason that because kids don't have any experiences to fall back on. Everything is new, and they're trying to figure out. And sometimes they're little things, and sometimes they're much bigger and more horrible. And I think I wrote this song as just as a, you know, hoping, putting the prayer out to the universe that there's just a little grace that would come along to help those kids in, you know, all kids in that situation. And I like to dedicate these days to thousands of children that have been taken into Russia and nobody knows what's happening with them. I mean, it's horrible. They're, you know, torn away from families, and so this is for them. It's called Jeremy Brown. In the heart of the winter, the year I turned 10, my father he took sick and died. With a scratchy old farm, 6 kids and lean times, Mama fought pretty hard to get by. Spring was turned into summer when a man came traveling through. Said he'd work till the harvest was all stored away, and that meals and a room it would do. It was that or the banks, so my mom signed him on. His name it was Jeremy Brown. On the front porch we'd gather when dinner was done, and the evening was settling down. And he'd tell us his stories of traveling, sing of old friends and places he'd been. And he mended our hearts on those long summer nights, taught me to smile once again. He'd sing, ooh, this is the time and a place for goodbyes. Ooh, it's a sad and a sweet thing to cry, yes, to cry, how I cried. But the answers, they'll come by and by. He worked hard as 2 men, was quick with a grin, though a distance remained in his eyes. And he never did say why he took to the road, and we knew well enough not to pry. But he understood how I was feeling, or at least to me, that's how it seemed. And late in the night, as I lay in my bed, his songs, they'd run through my dreams, singing, ooh, there's a time and a place for goodbyes. It's a sad and October it came. The last corn was in, and Jeremy backed up to go. Heading down the south was about all he would say. If he'd be back, he just didn't know. But I think that I knew as he held me, when somehow I could smile through the tears, that if I needed a friend, I would find him again in this song that I've sung all these years. I sing, there's a time and a place for goodbyes. It's a sad and a sweet thing to cry. Yes, to cry, I want to cry. And the answers, they've come by and by. There's a time and a place for goodbyes. It's a sad and a sweet thing to cry. Yes, to cry, I want to cry. And the answers, they've come by and by.
David Tamulevich. And this next one. So we were in Maine and we were staying with some people. We were visiting their house on a lake in Maine. And they were from Sedona, Arizona. I guess that should have been a clue, but it wasn't for me. But anyway, we were there, and they were also had house guests who were from LA, and they had just received an Academy Award nomination for a documentary film that they had finished that was getting quite a lot of attention. And this was soon after the declassification of the UFO files by the Air Force. So in the course of having this nice conversation and David and I just politely sitting, listening to these four people converse about this project, this documentary, Ingrid, the production assistant from the movie, looked at me, just turned and looked at me off the cuff, very blithely, just said, "You been up?"
She recognized.
She recognized, yes.
Yes.
She recognized.
Yes.
And I said, "No, I haven't, but I've always felt that this world was not my home." And I always wanted to use that line my whole life. And like,
Libby gets off a good one.
Check that off.
You
Very
been up?
blithely.
So
You
yeah,
been
that's
up?
what you say now. You been up?
Yeah.
You been up?
You've been up. I was like,
So the documentary is called An Accidental Truth, and it's out there on YouTube. You can watch it,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
a good
very,
movie.
very interesting. Very interesting. You been
but
up?
this, how was this song done? I don't know. I remember we wrote the music together on this, but I think all these lyrics are your responsibility.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I was probably angry about something else. You know? I don't know what.
So funny.
Or else I'd been reading. You know, I'm an avid reader of almost anything. You know, I don't like romance, novels, but I don't like comic books. You know, there's a few things. But I don't know, I read stuff, and sometimes it goes, woo! So that's where this song came from.
And then Michael's spine goes, woo! and you get something like
you know,
this.
being the age that we are, we all grew up with a pretty good.
Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. Yeah.
She remembers. How many people
Yeah.
remember that one?
Yeah, see?
I can
I've been
still
up.
say it.
No.
I can still say it. They said they told us in the movie audience, don't forget those
That's
words.
right, they did.
Klaatu,
Barada,
Barada,
Nikto.
Nikto. Yeah. But I mean, that was what, 1954?
Something like that, yeah.
I was
We
like
were
6
one.
years old. I came away from that movie with my eyes large and round. You know?
That's probably what happened. He was up.
I've never sung this song sitting down. I don't know. I can chair dance.
If you ever see a UFO, say I never told you so.
Say I never told you so.
If you ever see a UFO,
If you ever see a UFO,
say I never told you so.
I never told you so.
Davy, what the hell is that thing? Davy, did you hear something sing? How did I lose track of time? Somebody better tell me what I said this time. What I said this time. We've been watching you and you don't look good. You don't behave like intelligence should. You're like a cancer that's growing too fast. Change your ways, you know you're never gonna last. Never gonna last. It started out with some lights in the sky. I stopped, I don't remember why. A voice in my head took control of my mind. Said we'll be speaking through you from time to time. From time to time. Mama, am I really okay? How did it get to be the middle of the day? Ain't that the same thing I said last time? That UFO's got a hold of my mind. UFO's got a hold of my mind. UFO's got a hold of my mind. It's got a hold of my mind. It started out with some lights in the sky. I stopped, I don't remember why. A voice in my head took control of my mind. Said we'll be speaking through you from time to time. From time to time. Too far out of line. We got surprises that'll freeze your mind. But we feel bad if you didn't get a chance to change. It's the same as coming in out of the grave. Come on in out of the rain. Ain't that the same thing I said last time? That UFO's got a hold of my mind. UFO's got a hold of my mind. UFO's got a hold of my mind. It's got a hold of my mind. If you ever see a UFO, if you ever see a UFO, say I never told you so. Don't say I never told you so. If you ever see a UFO, if you ever see a UFO, I never told you so. I never told you so. Don't say I never told you so. Don't say I never told you so. Don't say I never told you so.
Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. I've traveled this wide world over. Away, you rolling river. For 7 years I've been a rover. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I love your daughter. Away, you rolling river. For her I've crossed the sparkling water. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri.
Two more tonight.
All right.
Two more.
God,
And
you know, really, it is so difficult to figure out what we're going to do and what we're going to really leave out. And, it's you know,
there's so many. Planting trees.
we will. Yeah, we were once here in a blizzard, and we were telling everybody, well, they've got sleeping bags in the back, so we know. So this is a song by John Gorka. I had my 50th high school, or I didn't have my 50th high school reunion in 2020 because of COVID, and then 21 it got canceled. 22 I couldn't go, and but somebody sent me a picture. You know, there are about 75 people in this picture. I looked at it. I said, who are these people? I mean, I literally did not recognize. I recognized one person because I had seen them. It's like,
Yeah, they sent me one for one of my anniversaries, and they said, we promise we'll have giant name tags for everybody.
yeah, I mean, I
didn't go.
Yeah, I'd gone to my 10th reunion, and all the people I wanted to see weren't there, and all the people I didn't want to see were there, and they were just the same as in high school.
Well, shout out to Flint, Southwestern Colts, class of 71. We get together, and we have been getting together for many years, so we all know what we look like. We all know.
This is a song by the great John Gorka, who is, if you've never seen John, or if you haven't want to see him again, he's going to be here on Sunday, on the stage. I mean, he has a remarkable.
This coming Sunday, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, John
Yeah.
Gorka. Don't miss it.
Yes, and so this is a song that he wrote called "The Faded Blue and Gold." No, I didn't drink. I didn't sleep a wink. Last night, I went back in time. There was a party, the reunion kind. The boys were all in ties. Some were in disguise. The hairlines and the frames of men were not as I remembered them. It didn't matter much that we never kept in touch. Talk of work filled the in-between. Back to the time when we were 17. Here's the faded blue and gold, and here's to you, my friends. We're all right now, we were all right then, we'll be all right again. There was a book of names and pictures of the same, and I saw familiar ones among the names that are forever gone. And time had not undone the girls I had crushes on, though all of them are married now. I found my heart was working anyhow. I laughed and reminisced with the girls I ever kissed. The school years were not all misspent, and the good times were no accident. Here's to the girls who danced with me, who never did back then. You made my night when you held me tight, and you stayed until the end. Here's to the faded blue and gold, and here's to you, my friends. We're all right now, we're all right then, we'll be all right again. We're all right now, we were all right then, we'll be all right again.
Thank you, everybody. Tonight has been so special.
All right, Crafty Lady. All right. So we're going to do one more. We did our first record album in 1979. And we did an album, and we did 8 tracks.
Wow.
We had a 45.
And we had a 45 out. 45. It was before digital recording, so we used like, you know, big old tape.
The big 2-inch tape that went.
Yeah.
But let me introduce this, and you'll hear what I'm where I'm going with it.
Here we go.
You'll remember just where to come in, because sometimes people like marvel at the fact. I mean, we've been talking about it a little bit, that we've been together for so long. I mean, bands come and go. Everybody knows this. You know, I mean, there's old bands that were there a long time ago, and how many original members do they have? Good question. So anyway, David and I, we've been together for so long, and one of the reasons that we were able to stay together for so long is that we never fell in love with the same woman.
At the same time.
At the same time, except once. And it went like this. It was like we were driving down the road. We had come from some sleazy gig, you know, that we played in some place up in, you know, I don't know where.
It was Flint. We're coming back from Flint.
No, it was
it was
Durand.
it was
Durand. It was.
Oh, so Libby and I did a TV show in Flint 2 days ago, and there were a couple of vets on Vietnam vets, and they were going to do a special thing at their post in Durand outside of Flint. And so they did their thing, and they got off the stage, and the host said, "Yeah, and next we're going to hear Mustard's Retreat." The guy turned and looked at me and said,
Where's Mustard's Retreat? These guys have been here around a long time. Hell, I remember a pool party in Durand where they played.
and I called up Michael, and I said, "I just saw somebody from the pool party." He goes, "I remember that."
Yeah, they threw us in the pool. Yeah. They got drunk. They got so drunk they threw everybody in the pool. We were the last people that had dry pants in the whole place, and they finally looked at us. And it's like, oh, brother, here it comes. I put my electric bass over there so it was safe. But, we were okay, so that has nothing to do with why we've been together. Except that after that party, we looked at each other and we said, let's not do any more private parties.
But we had a CB back, and CBs were the thing.
CB radio.
There were no cell phones, and so we would, so we were coming back from Flint one night about 2:30 in the morning.
Soaking wet.
At least. And somebody had forgotten to get gas. I won't saying who. But so, and we were, we're 59 crosses up, it's 59, from 59 to 96 is 10 miles, and there's no exits, and we were out of gas. So we were like, suddenly we got
out of gas.
Yeah, not quite.
We were getting there.
We were getting there. So we got on the CB radio, and we said, anybody out there know where the closest gas station is? And this beautiful voice came through.
Oh my God, this beautiful voice came
I can help you guys.
Oh my God. I could just tell. I could tell by the sound of her voice that she had red hair. Green eyes and a world of freckles,
I was sure she was a blonde.
No way. But we were both instantly interested. Isn't that weird? It was weird. It just did not happen with us. And then we decided to start talking to her. And it was like we were bumping into each other to reach for the microphone when we could
get a hold of her
right
after 59 coming south. And she worked for the local community watch, and that was her shift. She was out there. So you have a handle instead of using your name on a CB radio. I was the frog.
I was the white rabbit.
I was the lonesome polecat.
The lonesome polecat. And her handle was the Crafty Lady. And of all the stories we tell on stage, this one is totally true. And it's like, it really
it was
is.
weird because it's like one day, it's like we were cruising along. We tried to talk to her whenever we could. It's like when we were bumping into each other to grab the microphone first. And one day he goes, "Yeah, I'm writing a song about you." And she said, I'm sure. And I said, "Wait a minute, I'm writing the song."
No.
I'm writing the song.
So we
had to become a songwriting team.
Yeah.
Because neither one of us was going to let the other one write the song.
Right. And then we told her, we're musicians. And
she said, "I'm sure."
Then we said,
we're going to make a record. We said, "We're going to make a record." And she said, "I'm sure."
But we did, and we made this 45, and it was out on the jukeboxes, and the people, a local newspaper found her out, called her up.
A radio guy called her up on the air.
Then she wanted to know where we were playing.
So one night we were playing in this other sleazy little bar in Ann Arbor. It was one of those with the long basement thing.
Down at the Heidelberg. I don't know how many people,
weirdos
saw us at Heidelberg, who worked at the Heidelberg were here. Yes. So the room was packed, and it was,
we were rocking and rolling. We were having a great time.
The waitress comes up with a napkin. I open it up, and it says, "Hi from the Crafty Lady."
Suddenly, we agreed on something.
Right. It was time for a break.
So we walked down that center aisle.
Slowly we turned.
Yeah, step by step.
Step by step.
Inch by inch. We went down, right down the center, looking and looking and looking, down, 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 all the way to the back.
Very back table, a woman stands up and says, "Hi, I'm the Crafty Lady."
She had beautiful gray hair.
Yes, she was there with her son,
He was that big. Her husband was like that big.
her grandkids.
Grandchildren like that big.
Yeah, I was crushed,
David
but
was crushed.
Michael
I didn't mind.
Michael felt the same. Yes. Oh, so she became a good friend, and so this song talks about the 96-2-3 split where she used to work and she's long gone, but this is the song we wrote.
It was late one night, we were headed home. My eyelids felt like they weighed a ton. I had a headache from listening to the static on the radio. We sat on this squelch and we cut the noise, and I swear I'll never forget it. We heard the clear, sweet voice of the Crafty Lady. She was talking to a trucker on the northbound side, and just to hear that voice made my eyes open wide. This woman's got class. Believe me, it's a fact. And you know how a good woman makes a man feel, so we called her back just to see if she's real, and she said, "You got the Crafty Lady guy, bring it on back." Yeah, I'm breaker 19, shouting for the Crafty Lady. Here's a song for you from the boys out on the road. On the lonely road in the dead of night, your voice comes through like a guiding light. We're down, got the hammer down, going home. Well, we called for her in the daylight hours, and we didn't hear nothing but the sound of the tires, and it seems that she talks to the truckers all night long. Yeah, she does it for Community CB Watch, and that's better than talking to a bottle of scotch when your man works midnights. So we wrote her this song. You know, some of these cowboys get me down because they talk to a woman like a punk downtown, but nobody gets too rowdy with the Crafty Lady. She's sweet and gentle like a white-tailed doe, and anybody gets nasty got to feel real low. You know right away, cowboy, you're talking to a lady. Yeah, I'm breaker 19, shouting for the Crafty Lady. Here's a song for you from the boys out on the road. That's us. On the lonely road in the dead of night, your voice comes through like a guiding light. We're down, got the hammer down, going home. Now she always remembers your handle, hey, and she's always got something real nice to say, but there came a night when we called her and she did not answer. We heard that her husband went on days and she'd rather be with him anyway. So the CB Watch is now a clown called Fancy Dancer. An old fancy dancer, he ain't to blame, but that road at night just doesn't seem the same. You know, we call her back now and then, hoping we might get her. So if you're down by the 9623 split, you ought to give her a yell just for the hell of it. And we'll be down and clear now and catch you on the flipper. Yeah, breaker 19, shouting for the Crafty Lady. Here's a song for you from the boys out on the road. On the lonely road in the dead of night, your voice comes through like a guiding light. We're down, got the hammer down, going home. Let's do that one more time. Yeah, breaker 19, shouting for the Crafty Lady. Here's a song for you from the boys out on the road. On the lonely road in the dead of night, your voice comes through like a guiding light. We're down, got the hammer down, going home.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for making this night so special for all of us. And the art, thank you so many years you have been underneath us. We cannot thank you enough, everybody. Thank you very much.
All right, one more.
Thank you so much.
You know, Michael and I always thought about having a little festival inviting you all.
Yeah.
Which would be so perfect because really it really is unfair to everybody to be able to see all of you and you see us and not have any time to talk.
Well, yeah.
So thank you for coming. We'll talk to
All
as many
these
of you.
years.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah. And, so let's see part of me.
Yeah. This is a song David wrote, beloved song. Thank you so much, everybody.
I'm not asking much. You don't have to call or keep in touch. Don't expect you to it anyways. There's something left, but it's mostly over. A few more lines, a little older, and a bed that's all your own at the end of the day. Part of me remembers summer wine, winter's embers, and the laughter of the children as they play. All my friends tell me, forget it. There's a new life, go and get it. Part of me remembers anyway. Well, it's sad how blind we are to things gone wrong till they've gone too far. And there's nothing that can set them straight again. And it's a funny place to stand, worn out hearts and empty hands, with your best friend there, but still too far away. Part of me remembers summer wine, winter's embers, and the laughter of the children as they play. All my friends tell me, forget it. There's a new life, go and get it. Part of me remembers anyway. Well, I'm no longer feeling sad, but old regrets are just as bad. They waste your time with little in return. That's not to say I don't remember, but it's like the sun in late November that tries to warm you through the cold, but all the while it's getting old. And part of me remembers summer wine and winter's embers, and the laughter of the children as they played. All my friends tell me, forget it. There's a new life, go and get it. Part of me remembers anyway. All my friends tell me, forget it. There's a new life, go and get it. Part of me remembers anyway.
Thank you so much, everybody. Dreams come true. Know the love.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, man. Okay. Thank you so much. hang my underwear down.
I didn't do it.
Slip.
She's been up.
Thank you so much. That was funny.
Yeah, that was a great encore. We'll probably end up out at the merch table trying to sign stuff, yeah. Thank you, everyone. Drive safe. Be careful. Yeah, be well.